Where the air is clear and the sun shines bright and the colors are vivid and the groove is just right. That's the magical corner of peace, love and good vibes. Where the sky meets the earth and your soul comes alive. Peace, love and good vibes are all you need. That frequency is right for me. So come along and soon you'll see the corner where cool vibes are free.
You'll know when you get there, no doubt in your mind. The feeling of freedom, let go and unwind. So we'll meet at the corner of peace, love and good vibes. Where the sky meets the earth and your soul comes alive.
Peace, love and good vibes are all you need. That frequency is right for me. So come along and soon you'll see the corner where cool vibes are free. There's no other place that I'd rather be than right here and now. It's just you and me. So let's stay at the corner of peace, love and good vibes. Where the sky meets the earth and your soul comes alive. Meet me down at the corner. The crew is all there. The party's just starting. There's good vibes in the air. Meet me down at the corner. The crew is all there. The party's just starting. There's good vibes everywhere. Peace, love, and good vibes are all you need. That frequency is right for me. So come along and soon you'll see the corner where cool vibes are free. Meet me down at the corner. The crew is all there. The party's just starting. There's good vibes in the air. Meet me down at the corner. The crew is all there. The party's just starting. There's good vibes everywhere.
Absolutely fabulous. Every time I hear it, no matter what's going on, it brings me back down to the corner in a good way, down at the corner where the cool vibes are, where the cool kids are. It's a cool corner. So, therefore, even if I wasn't feeling at my cool list, I have to up the vibe. You don't want to go down to the corner and be the only person that's, not cool. So let's all gather whatever vestiges of cool are left within you. And let's meet down at the corner. Okay? See, this is a real thing. I'm just encouraging. I mean, I just have to make sure that you understand this is a real person. I am Roxanne Serena Dawn Arthur. You can call me Roxy. Okay? And we're meeting down at the corner where the purple light is on. And where all of this is brought to you by Forever Free Media Incorporated and Forever Free TV, the platform. That all of this is about keeping Forever free, and down at the corner, which is everybody's living rooms that has a Roku TV right now. You can go Forever Free and join us right in your living room on the like that. That's Roku TV. So you just put in Forever Free and poof, you're going down to the corner. And then there's foreverfreetv.com. It's on your phone, but it's also, your laptop. And then on your phone, there is Forever Free TV as an app. Right there, as I said many times, I press that number Forever Free in your app store. And guess what? It's free. There's no gimmicky things or there's no freemium and premium or nothing like that. It's always free, forever free. That's the whole point of this exercise, is that we wanted to have some place online on the internet where this message of freedom and light and joy and peace for your soul, because that's what we say about Forever Free TV. The frequency is for your soul to be made free and joyful and full of the energy that you came when you were little, when you were a child, before everything and all of this happened to you. And you just used to bounce into the room. You just used to say things and do things and laugh and play. Just laugh freely, not a laugh that you planned out to make sure it was suited the ambiance in which you were going to laugh. You just laughed, or you just had a fun time, or that long time ago, we're trying to rekindle the thought that helped you to be able to be a free soul. Some of you, it's of such a long time ago that it's just a faint memory because of all the things that have happened in your world that have suppressed your soul. Now we're calling for the freedom of the soul. My good friend Jack AI, Jack Liaison, Avatar, Jack, who works with the children. You see that Jack up there? Yeah, he's all about freedom. Freedom is life. Freedom is all of the whole thing, forever free. That's why you're here. There are many, many others, as we've talked about on the podcast for the last couple days down at the corner, that don't want you to be free because your soul is phenomenal. The human soul, you, is an amazing. It's spirit, mind, body, all pushed together. The soul energy connecting it all. You can be present in so many different realities. You're in the body, so you can wander around and have some mango, which is my favorite fruit. Because I am from Guyana, South America, at the beginning of my reality, even though my accent right now may sound Canadian in Vancouver, where I live now, I started in Guyana. It's not a strong accent, but it's still there. So no matter where you are, you have the human part of you, which we spend a ton of time on, thinking about things like whatever color we are. See, that's one of my ones. Like, whatever color we are is of great importance. If I'm a brown, a black, a beige, white, uh, these are hugely important. I don't get it, but that's what you say. So this is not that class. Because if you are still strung up on the fact that I'm a Black person, I can't help you. I know that's not this class. Self reflection is this class. And if you haven't reflected to the point where you don't understand that colors, colors, like in some place in America, you can say, uh, my dad used to get in trouble because you're not supposed to say you're Black in America, Black person. I think that's, but you can't be a colored person because that is like a lower thing that people have called Black people in a negative way. But you can be a person of color. Okay, so that's not this class. This is just a basic class in self-reflection. Those are the specialty classes down that way. You see, there's a sign up there that says "Go that way." I can't. Okay, but this is a basic class where we want to just do some of the most basic ideas. We have to try to pull our thought back to you have a soul, and your soul is encompassed in this human frame, and it may be a multitude of different colors. So I can't, we want to keep that fit and healthy and looking as decent as possible. As my age, as I said, 61, you have to take a more minutes or time to pop lymphatic drainage, all of the things, my garlic and ginger and turmeric tea, which we will get into on foreverfreetv.com. I was just talking to my sister Holly, that's my creative director and my partner in, not in crime, but in what we do. I want to start up my Spice It Up podcast, which is not just for women, but tends to be women are looking for the meal for the day. So, I let's say the olden days. I don't know. And you want to keep everything puffed up and looking proper and clothing wise, what colors, this, that. I want to have a podcast about that kind of stuff. Anybody is welcome, but especially women, especially of my age range, when everything does start to fade, and you have to, keep yourself uplifted. Okay, so that's the physical realm, and that's why humans are such a phenomenal being, because you have the spiritual, then you have the intellect, the physical, then you have the intellectual. You can go and you can study. You can now with AI, anything that you can possibly imagine, anything. There is an AI agents are available now. They're getting to be, you'll have your personal guide. Schooling is going to change so dramatically because I'll be able to have my own AI that teaches me based on my own way I learn. It's phenomenal. There is no limit to how much knowledge and understanding you can get now mentally. Then there's the emotional part of the human being that you can love like no other beings in the reality of anything, that human love can encompass and and do so many amazing things, healing and all of that stuff. And then you have the soulic part of you, which is the huge connection between the mind and body and spirit, the spirit coming from the off, we're off. I always find that you look up because it's bigger than this. It's the part that's bigger. Uh, when we were in the Christian church, that you say God, some people say source, the Almighty, the divine, is bigger. That's where you originate. Now you're here in body. Now the soul is the connecting, and it's the part that I have found in wandering around that it's the most neglected, the least talked about, the least it's a lot of shushing. I always get very perturbed because I've been myself, Roxanne, since I was born as Roxanne. My name means dawn of day. I have this curiosity and questioning that I've always had. And when I find that people start to shush and they get a look like, that's not something you should be asking, Roxanne. It causes me, guess what it causes me to do? Ask more. I know that's not the way that most people go, but the more, because you have to understand, I was born in Guyana, but I grew up in Canada. So I have an interesting take on things because I was definitely, most of the time, the only person in my school that was my color, like, maybe two or three others, but I was basically that black girl somewhere in the classroom. So that brings more attention to me, right? I didn't, honestly, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's the way my mom and dad raised us. The first thought in my head wasn't necessarily, there's the black, white, no, those are the white people, and we are the black people. I didn't really, that's not how my brain processes things. That was the people that were taller than me and that were supposed to be my teachers because I love to learn. This is my process. I'm not telling you it's yours. I love to learn. So I'm off to school with myself as Roxanne. And there's the ladies. It's definitely going to be a white person in my reality. And she's the teacher. Okay. I don't have a I don't okay. I'm here to learn. That happened when we went a lot of tough times to church, right? Sunday school and all of that. I'm here to learn here about God. I just say, okay, teacher, teach away, teach away. And then if I don't understand or you say something that I don't get what you're saying, I put my hand up because I always used to put my hand up because I was a very good student. I sat at the front of the class. You have to put in your mind, imagine just me, except shrink me because I've had glasses for a long time. I, s- I suppose there are some teachers that would go, oh no, Roxanne's in my class. There I am with my books. I'm here to learn. What's the problem? So when it comes to stuff, I've just always asked. And I didn't realize it was a, a difficult question or a question I shouldn't ask. I would ask questions that probably adults, didn't have children ask. And I've asked them since say I could ask 5, 6, 7. I don't have a problem asking somebody that's a lot taller or older or whiter or like anything or I have a question. You're talking, I'm asking. So say for example, I was in Sunday school. I think I've told this story many times now. And they're talking about God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit and all of this stuff and oh, there's a family of God in heaven and we are the family on earth and God the Father is man, God the Son is a man, God the Holy Spirit's a man, and we are the family on earth. So that I'm looking, and there's like usually a husband, a wife, and children, right? Mom and dad, children. So I just said, so if there's a husband and wife and their children down here, where's God's wife? Now, I didn't say it like any way. I didn't say it like, oh, but the lady's face, because she was of a white complexion, a light complexion, her cheeks went red. I didn't know I had said anything. That was so. I'm gonna explain it because I thought maybe she didn't understand what I was saying. Yeah, that didn't go well. And every time I've asked these questions that I think are just basic, these are just basic things that I think we should all reflect upon. This is one of those that came up when I was looking for today. We're close. I would like to move on to know yourself, be yourself. I doubt we will be able to fully over the weekend. I would hope that you'll think about these things, but it's been hundreds of years that this has been going wrong. So we will go as long as it takes for you to begin this self-reflection process, or continue it, because it is the most important part. As we said yesterday, if you're in a madhouse, if you're in a circus, you go to those amusement parks and you go to the House of Mirrors, you can't look at the as self-reflection in there and not get a distortion, because the mirrors have been created to cause distortion. And I was talking about that yesterday and the day before, and saying that that's what this planet has been about. These negative beings distorting our reality and then feeding it to us and then saying, make a good choice. You can't make a choice based on lies and fallacy. So that's where we are clearing that out and saying, okay, we're going to come through what Holly has been creating, and just take a breath and look at ourselves in a more clear manner. That's what all of these creations that Holly has been able to create is, for us to take a breath and look at ourselves in a more realistic manner. That takes some time. It takes a lot of deprogramming, because our institutions, our religions, our everything has been created to keep us dumbed down. Because whoever rules and runs and walks in soulic awareness and spiritual intelligence runs the planet. They know that. I know that. Everybody knows that except the humans. Why is that? Because if you don't know it, what? They can just parade around like if they are in charge. They, the principalities, powers, and rulers of the darkness of this world, whether they're in body or out of body, don't own this planet, don't run your reality, don't own your soul. They would love you to believe all kinds of nonsense about this planet. This is a tough world. This is a dog-eat-dog world. You just gotta fight. Why? Who created that misnomer? And why do I care what you are saying? And that's been the problem with Roxanne. I don't care you standing up there in a hoit and a toit. I say hoit and toit. Warren's always saying that's my husband. He's always saying I'm making up words. Don't you know what hoit and toit is? Oh, hoity toity. They used to come to our church every Sunday. Oh, and hoity toity, hoity toity. Do you think anybody cares? When that person has sickness or has a problem, you know that all of that extra just falls away, because we're all human beings. Does it matter the color? I know. Cancer doesn't care what color you are. Can you imagine? It doesn't say, oh, we're only going to get the. No. The bad people, the bad guys do not care. They don't like humans, and they want to destroy the human race. Period. The end. Even the ones, you guys that think you're the elitists and you're the blue bloods and you are the. Don't get it twisted. They're going to make you the house slaves. That's all you are to them. They don't. What can I help you to understand that? For now, you may seem to feel that you're above everybody, that you're ruling and new in town. Well, you have the bazillion dollars. Everybody else is poor and weak and all of that stuff. That's because they don't understand who they are, and that more and more people are coming abreast to understanding. The emperor has no clothes on, and their eyes of their understanding, the goop that you've been placing in their eyes, the programming, it's dissolving. It dissolves when met with somebody like Roxanne, who can't stand dissonance. Dissonance cannot exist when truth comes and light shines. Darkness always loses. I love that. So, even though I was a bit tired because we did this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've done this for many a days, starting in about 1970. So, it gets a little bit taxing. I hear in the sound of my voice may have been smaller back then, but it was the same thing. We have to come together, we have to work together. I still have cassette tapes of myself talking since 1980 something, 80s. Yeah, this is a situation. But we have an opportunity right now because of the internet, because of the technology that my mom at 81 years old, 80s, I in my 60s, my brothers, hopefully Philip will be able to join us in weeks to come when we're discussing this stuff in his 30s, my twin nephews in their 20s. You see how that's going? All the way down are all alive at the same time, are all relatively lucid at the same time. Can notice that the same thing that my mother said is the same thing that my grandmother said. It's the same thing that my kids are saying. How is this possible? How are these Mandela effect things happening? How are these weirdo, he looks like her, but she doesn't look like him, but is there anything else going on? Is anything about this, vampirism? Is anything about people sort of, they say they're reincarnating, but did they actually leave the planet or did they just wander away? Like, what is going on? There is a whole bunch of caroches. There's a whole bunch of confabulations. There is a whole bunch of nonsense that are trying to cloud your reality to be able to think, to be able to actually get through this. And as I've done on all of these podcasts, these first few minutes, it's just to call you in because it's so hard to concentrate at times. It's so hard to pull your thought to Roxanne is talking because your mind keeps buzzing. There's so many people trying to get your attention. So many advertisers. Eat this, through that, blah, blah, blah. That's why we want to keep forever free TV, right? For right now, especially right this minute, ad free. And of course, we have to have funding, but thankfully, Warren has been able to be our primary and first angel investor and is calling for others who want one space online where you don't have to guard yourself and keep ginching because a commercial's going to, I have to, you can just go someplace, you can put your kids to sit and they can watch Jack and they can watch Be Kind, Be Nice, Be Good. They can just get a breath. You have to have a moment where you can just take a breath. It's what home was supposed to be. What a husband and a wife, a mother and a father were supposed to be able to create. And that's where we're coming back to. Doesn't matter how far we wander. We have to come back to a spaces where you can breathe out. You don't have to trend right this minute. There's finances enough flowing because we have come together. Understand the power of two. Understand that if we talk to one another and treat one another with decency and order, we as a collective can manage. If we stop fussing at each other about every single solitary, nonsensical, stupid nonsense thing, if we decide that it doesn't matter the color of my skin, it doesn't matter. What difference does it make to you? Let's get the basic thing. What is the color of my soul? In most cases, it's so dirty and dusty, I can't even see it anymore. That's a situation that we have to, not what do we do for a living? Who are we for this reality in which we live? Who are we? That's what self-reflection has. And I think for today's, I talked especially about men focusing on what, if you want to be a true man of worth, you have to be a man who takes time to reflect upon himself. This is one of those comments that I took from conversations that I've had with my husband, conversations I was having just with a lady that is in the tech world, that's saying that that what she's finding, and when I talk with Warren, that men do have a problem. They're just not, that's not their cup of tea. They just are not programmed in that way, that that is their first thought when they wake up. Who am I? Where am I? What do I want to be? Reflection is not one of the top end of their realities. So when I come at you from this spot and I say, men and women need to reflect, because guess what? There are men and women on this planet. And then there are some that say they're not in the right body, but overall, it's men and women, whether you're in the wrong body or the right body, or you know, it's male and female. That's what ends up creating the next child, right? As you go on through. So that's what we're going for basic. I know that's again in the other class down there where you get into all of that stuff. This is the basic 101 of the human soul, okay? In this basic 101 of the human soul, there's men and women, male and female, the feminine aspect and the masculine aspect. Now, when I asked that question in my Sunday school class, my main thing was, there's one thing when you're dealing with earth things, like, okay, at some point, the flower it's there, it's beautiful, and it's not probably going to make it all the way. It's going to probably die, or we're going to have to, put it in a, you know what I mean? But when you come to the spiritual world or the non physical world, when things touch that, I have to talk about it. I have to talk about this feminine aspect and masculine aspect stuff, because it not only stays like, 3D. You're now saying there's God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. They're all masculine. So you have the three main of the Christian faith, the Christianity that I was in there. And I'm a young Black woman. And when I look around that reality, all three of the deities that I'm supposed to be identifying with are masculine. So I say, well, what about the feminine aspect? Oh, I might as well have blasphemed. I might as well have just said, I just a question. You have all three. You mean of three, one of them couldn't be more feminine? I didn't say we have to have the goddess. I didn't say anything like that. I didn't say let's have a cult. I didn't say any of that. I didn't say, well, women should be in charge because men should be. I didn't say those all misogynistic, all those words that they use in misogynistic, I think. I didn't say that women should rule the world and men shouldn't. Why is that assumed? Because I said, if there is a family in heaven and earth, shouldn't you have at least a representative of the other half of the society that we are supposed to be now be looking to pattern ourselves from? I don't think that's unrealistic. I don't think that. And if you are listening to this, you can comment and tell me, because I am here. If you have some reason that you think is realistic, I've heard people say, well, God is not a human, he's just a source, the source, source. Fine. Well, why wouldn't source have masculine and feminine? And if you're going to have a representation down here, why wouldn't you say she then? God can be she or he. Why is he always he? These are difficult questions that, guess what? I, Roxanne, being the Roxanne that I am, love to ask. And I love to watch your face as you tither and tother and and huff and puff. Go ahead. Tell me why I'm wrong. I want to hear. I am not trying to have a whole other dissertation of anything. I've been trying. When I lived in Hamilton, Ontario, I called up all of the pastors of all of the different types, the Catholic and the Lutheran and the Methodist. I wanted to ask different ones. I got appointments. You think that I'm joking. You got to know who rocks I am. I'm like that because I want to know. So I asked all of the people that I could to to find out what's going on. Isn't that the way to do it? It says ask and keep asking, seek and keep seeking, knock and keep knocking, right? That's what it says. Okay, I have to go on to back to the comments. Um, so mom said she's watching. Mom said, my parents never talked about different colors. I just thought we were all God's human beings. So that's probably why I was the way I was. Color or people's skin never bothered our family. Okay, that's wonderful. She also said, that the truth is hidden in plain sight around this planet. That's true. And we need the eyes of our understanding to be open. Thank you, Mom. And Holly says, exactly. What is the color of your soul? That's what's important. And yeah, so we're not going to even bother with the colors thing because you have to go back and resolve that and then come back to the class. We'll press a pause in the whatever and come back. And hopefully you won't have missed everything because that's just nonsense. Okay, this subject, but when it comes to the feminine aspect, Holly's saying this subject is so aggravating because we shouldn't have to discuss something as basic, right, as skin. That's right. At 100%, of course, you're talking about this concept of being a mother. Holly says, of course, 100%, there must be a mother. Like, just on the planet, although other people are trying to claim that they can be the mother, just be basic. The feminine, the bird, there's a male bird and a female bird. Look at the animals, look at anything. There's a male, a masculine, feminine, they come together. Cucumbers, seeds, everything has a masculine and feminine aspect. They come together and the offspring comes out. Now, what I find on this planet, and this has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a woman. I have to help you understand. This doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with the simple fact. If I were just to be observing onto this planet, I would notice that the majority of things that are of leadership, that are of guidance of the society in which we live, are male dominated. That's just a fact. I'm not trying to be, because think about it in this way. A lot of the clothing designers, the women's clothing designers, are men. A lot of the top chefs, the tippity top chefs, are what? Men. But who generally does the cooking? Oh, the ladies. But who are the chefs? The men. Oh, and the hospitals, who are the doctors? The men. And who are the nurses who probably do most of the work till the doctor comes in? The women. If you see this over and over and over in a society, what would be your conclusion? If you see in a society, in the Christian church, that all three aspects of the Godhead are masculine. And when you look into the Bible, even the Holy Spirit wrote in the Old Testament in Proverbs called Sophia and says she, Ruach, any of those kind of things, Shekinah, are kind of shushed away. Most of the women are shushed out of the Bible. You have to go into like the Book of Enoch or other translations, which are also blasphemy, to find any of the women. I, just as a neutral person, would look and have to put my hand up and ask, why? Why? Then I would turn and look at the overall state of the world. Now, if I saw that because of this choice, we have benevolence, we have goodness, we have love and kindness, and it was because the women were of such a reprobate state that the men had to do this so that the children could be loved and taken care of. Because obviously, we all know it's all about the next generation, because we know that if we don't take care of the next generation, we as a species will die out. Like, we all know that. Now, here's my situation. When I look around and say, oh, I'm going to find out that it's because the men are the better leaders. The men are the ones that can keep themselves, keep it together. That's why they are in charge of everything. I want one man to put your hand up and tell me that that's the case right now on this planet. What? Holly says, for why? For what? I'm asking a question into the internet, into the world. You can answer me. You can tell me that I'm so wrong, that Roxanne, I don't know what rock you've been under, flee-de-de-pla, and all of those words. All you have to do is scroll down any one of the social medias, because hello, we're on X, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, Forever Free TV's there, Roku. Scroll down and see the mayhem that's going on this planet right now. And how many of these world countries are run by men? I'm not saying that there aren't some women, but the masculine aspect is running things into the ground. Because all I have to do is look at the fact that we have something called the Epstein files, and I don't have to say anything more. Why are there missing children? What somebody was saying on one of the TikToks, we have technology that is so specific that when one of the soldiers in the current war that's going on in Iran who got lost, he was in a mountain range, just cowering, hiding, trying not to get caught. The technology is so exact that it could silence out all the other sounds and so specifically hear his heartbeat. Where he was could be found and not captured by the enemy. We have that level of technology available. And yet, the millions, okay, let's say thousands and thousands, whirring into millions of children who are missing. Where are they? They are so missing. We can't hear any of their heartbeats because they are missing. Don't you find that a bit suspicious? Nobody finds that a bit suspicious. That was Ali Carter. That's someone you could listen to on YouTube that has been in the situation, understands what's going on. Beverly Rhodes, another wonderful person that I got to meet. Her testimony is on Forever Free TV. She was one of those missing children and has since gotten back the understandings and awarenesses. You need to listen, my dear men and women. I am not telling you self reflection is going to make you feel hunky dory. It could, the possibility exists. Eventually, after you've done the hard work and dug out all the guck that you've allowed into your soul and into your reality, you will feel better. You will eventually feel better, but you may feel worse for a while. And I'm not going to tell you another story so that I get trending. I get all the likes and loves and all the things because we're using tell two friends who tell two friends method. That means two of you will be so made aware of what I'm saying that you're going to like this and share it with somebody else because you know I'm telling you the truth. You know that in the back of your mind you've been niddling along and you put your hand up. Maybe your hand got slapped. Maybe you weren't in a reality like I was. You got punished to the spot where they said, shut up, sit down, shut up. That you had to shut up, sit down, and shut up. For your own life's sake, for the sake of the people around you that may have been threatened. This planet has no limits when it comes to what they will try to do to silence you. You may ask, so why am I not afraid? Me, Roxanne. Light always what? Shines. And darkness, what? It has to flee. They boggle you down with fear. They don't own your soul. And the angelic realms that are around you are so powerful and so mighty if you were aware and understood and you could look and see around you. The energy, it's not just me talking like I'm Roxanne talking. There are myriads of angelic energies pushing out into the internet world. Do you think they care? They're here to rescue children who have been dispossessed of their reality. Don't get in their way. I would not advise it because Jesus said it's better for you to hang something around your neck and jump off than to harm the hair of one of the heads, one hair on the children. You guys who have been pullovering, I would suggest you repent and get to know what's going on in your soul. Let's do something to change the world. Let's do something to change the world. That is what we are supposed to be doing. And that is what we are doing when we come together. We are changing the world. You may not feel it in your house where you are there or in your reality. It may, in fact, look worse and worse and worse. But you're not alone. Forever Free TV, Forever Free Media has been put together right now so that we collectively can come together. The fear that you've been feeling is real. The threats you've been feeling are real in the sense that they've threatened like your livelihood. They've threatened your home, perhaps. Some of you may have had real threats. Some of you, it's a feeling that, oh, I can't talk anymore. I can't say this again. I'm so tired. I'm so burnt out with saying and saying. All of these things are the result of being on a planet that I've said it's a prison planet. And Joshua and Caleb told me to stop. Joshua's saying, don't say that, Auntie. Okay, there's a tendency for people to want to imprison. But let's not call it that. Let's call it a planet that's being freed because the inhabitants have decided they're not going to stay around in captivity anymore. And they've decided that they are the agents of change. They're not going to wait. They're not going to wait for somebody to approve. Think about it. I am Roxanne Arthur. Have I ever had a media company? Might I ask? No, you say? No. But do I have a media company now? Yes. 4 years. 4 years. We're Forever Free Media Incorporated, LLC. Look it up. It's not just a pretend one, it's a real incorporation. Yeah. Why? Because I can. I don't have to wait on somebody to approve me. You have been approved, Roxanne. You can have a media company. If I was waiting for that, do you think anybody would do that? For me to be right is for a number of people to be what? What's that word? Wrong. Do you think anybody in power right now is going to say to me, "Oh, Roxanne, just come and sit at my side. I've been waiting for you to come and tell me about the human soul because I know." You think? I'm hopeful. I am hopeful because there are a few people, and I will not name right now, but I hope they're going to step up to the front and say that are my friends that have a good reality for the human spirit, the soul, and have want beneficial good for the humanity. And there are. So I'm not trying to like downside it. It's not all anybody. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm making some generalities, but you look along and you see for yourself, you may have never encountered any people like this. You may never have had a family that had, you may never been in a church like, you've never been tech. You just have been in, I would say, la la land. But okay, fine. So go along with your merriness. But if there's anybody else that has noticed the kinds of things that I'm talking about, we who are awakened to these realities are coming together through such entity as Forever Free Media, foreverfreetv.com. And as we gather together, we are much more than they. It's not a ton of people over there that are trying to control everything. It's not a ton of beings, even. It's a lot of fear. They are great marketers. I have to give it to them. They can manipulate and control your thought pattern to a level where you are thanking them for being their overlord, your overlord. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. You are a very powerful being. Men, I'm not trying to denigrate you and throw you under the bus, although you may feel that way. Come back out of from under the bus now. Women have their part to play in this, and I would ask women, why have you allowed yourself to be treated in this manner? I am not saying that it has not been difficult, but I'm 61 years old. AI people, I've been at meetings where I was going to get the video where there's myself and Warren is in the meeting. It's all these tech people from our part of the world. They are presidents of companies, they're professors, they're all of those things. When you look at the video or you look at the picture that somebody took, guess what? There's about 12 people at the table. Guess how many of them are black of the 12? Oh, two, because Warren is from North Carolina, so he's black. Guess how many of them are black and a woman? Guess. One, me. I'm not telling you that they made me feel away or they shunned me or nothing. They were very welcoming and very, normal. That's fine. But why weren't there more representatives of my color or and of my gender? Why? Don't we all need tech of any age? Don't we all want to have this go on to the next generation? Why should it be only a certain set of people that decide for the world what is necessary, what is needed? Don't you see that some people therefore want to control? Why is it that these words, this is what is happening? They want to control, so therefore, if you come along and they sideswipe you out of the way and your voice goes away, then their voice gets to control the money, control the AI, control how you see it, control the human race, and most importantly, control your soul. Look at music. Who wants to control music? Why? Your soul. Soul music. Remember soul food? Where did these words come from? There was a movie that Disney did about the soul. Don't you remember? Where do you think these ideas are coming from? They do have to tell you, but they can put it in this fluffy, nonsensey way that you think you're still thinking, "Oh, Roxanne, you're just being extra." Am I? Look around you. Stop just thinking, well, my wife, she's always going off. Why are these ladies always talking? I've been going for almost an hour. I didn't even realize that much time had gone by. But it is the truth. Go back through. I want to be wrong. I would like to be wrong. I've studied, I've examined, I've looked under the rock. I've I've examined, but there is something decidedly out of balance here. And if we want to really go through real self-evaluation and self-reflection, we can't just talk about the things, well, yeah, I'm a good person. I give at the office. I try to help people. Well, da, da, da. When I know there's a young man named Delco in the Gambia that needs our financial aid right now, and not only I found him and I know of him, but that whole country. How could we just go along on our side of the world? Well, that's not about me, that's them over there. We are all keepers, we are all helpers, we are one race. We are the human race. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead, find the scriptures, oh Christians. We need balance so badly. And so I want to go to something that this is Black Jack. Jack AI, Black Jack. So cool. I think he is absolutely cool. Thank you, Holly, for Black Jack. And then there's Jack AI, there's Jack Liaison, there's Jack and Jill. I don't know, there's so many Jacks. There's Jack, the Joker, I calling him. There's Uncle Jack. There's Cousin Jack. There's Jackie, Miss Jackie, that I get to be the purple with the purple hair. Yeah. And then of course there's Jill, Ali AI, there's Joy. There's so many great and marvelous things on Forever Free TV. And as you begin to explore this, you will come to the understanding that you are not alone. And as we go into, I'm going to be taking the next couple of days to solidify Forever Free is going into an update. We're updating through the next couple of days, and we'll be able to present it more properly on Sunday because we want you to be involved in this. It's not for me to come and say, I have done this and I have done that. What difference will that make? It won't make any difference, and all my 61 years will be for nothing. I'm here because I finally got something that I think can everybody can do their own little bit in there. Have funding, tell two people who tell two people is not just about us being funded. It's then, so if you have a talent, if you have you want to write a book, you put it in. Guess what? We can tell all of these people that have gathered together, look, my mom has her book finally written about a subject that she hasn't even told me about. Come on, guys, let's buy mom's book. And if 15,000 people give a dollar, guess what? Mom can take her $15,000 and buy the new bed that she needs. And it will have cost you a dollar. You see, that's how it works. That's how marketing works. That's how the algorithm is supposed to work. If you tell two people who tell two people exponentially, this is a wonderful planet that way. 8.4 billion people, theoretically, approximately. Think how much fun we can have working together. Okay, now we are going to look at Jack's story and then anything else that I may have forgotten, Holly will tell me. And over the next couple days, what I want you to do, Sunday at 3 o'clock PST, we will gather back together. Hopefully, you'll be able to, we'll have it so that you can join in and talk about, we have to talk about these things because we as a collective have to decide that we've had enough of being lied to, we've had enough of the deception, we've had enough of this nonsense. And we are human souls, sovereign human souls who have decided to do something about it. Okay? So let's hear what Jack has to say.
Every flaw is a groove in the song of your soul. It's the quirks and the twists that make your soul whole. Your journey's far out, you don't fit in a box. You're a mixed bag of colors, from the school of hard knocks. There's no need to change, there's no need to hide. Just follow your soul on life's beautiful ride. Love all the parts that make you unique. In the cracks and the fractures, you'll find what you seek. Perfection's a trip, that'll slow you down. But your imperfections, now that's your real crown. So let your flaws shine, let them vibe, let them glow. That's where the magic of you starts to grow. You're perfectly imperfect, I can dig that. Your vibe is your own, and that's where it's at. Hey, I'm Jack and I'm back. Stay groovy, cool cats, and embrace your perfect imperfections. Can you dig that?
You've now found your tribe. We've been looking for you.
Every flaw is a groove in the song of your soul. It's the quirks and the twists that make your soul whole. Your journey's far out, you don't fit in a box. You're a mixed bag of colors, from the school of hard knocks. There's no need to change, there's no need to hide. Just follow your soul on life's beautiful ride. Love all the parts that make you unique. In the cracks and the fractures, you'll find what you seek. Perfection's a trip, that'll slow you down. But your imperfections, now that's your real crown. So let your flaws shine, let them vibe, let them glow. That's where the magic of you starts to grow. You're perfectly imperfect, I can dig that. Your vibe is your own, and that's where it's at. Hey, I'm Jack and I'm back. Stay groovy, cool cats, and embrace your perfect imperfections. Can you dig that?
Can we dig that? Let's listen to it one more time, my dear friends. This is for you guys, men and women, but men, listen. I'm not trying to tell you that you have to be perfect, that you cannot be somewhat not as sensitive to everything like that and all of that. It's great that you want to, Warren doesn't, do the same things that I do. This is my second marriage. It's not that we are perfect. It's nothing like that. See, that's me over here. It's nothing like that. It's nothing about perfection. It's nothing about never getting it wrong. It's all about doing what you possibly can with what you have. And as Jack is saying, we're going to listen one more time. Take what you do, what you have left. Stop talking about women like they're pieces of crap. Stop talking about men like they're pieces of crap. They are souls in need of help. And maybe you're there to lend a helpful hand. At least you could stop talking and saying things you don't want to have happen. The only reason that I'm doing this today is because if somebody doesn't make an awareness of this, it just keeps on going. I do not want what I'm saying to be true, but it happens to be the reality that I've seen around me. Can we make changes? I believe that we can. I believe that your soul requires it of you. So stand up, my dear young men and women. Stop being a wuss, is what I said the other day on my family app. We cannot afford to be weak, although you may feel weak. The Bible says, let the weak say, what? I am strong. Because the energy soul, the power of energy that's within you. Why do you think I can do this? I have a ton of things that are always. Not everybody in my reality thinks I am the cat's meow, as they used to say. I have relatives that can't stand the sound of my own voice. They can't stand because I'm pressuring you. I'm trying to make you be a better person. And am I going to stop being this person because somebody doesn't like it? I only have me, Roxanne. I have to give an account after I leave this planet. I care what they think. I don't care what you think. Honestly. Because you don't control my soul. I wasn't originated, you didn't create. So okay, maybe I'm not your bag of tea. Maybe the person over there in that classroom down the hall. For right now though, people who are just fed up with where they are and just want to see something better than what they have, there's me bigger. Come on, let's do something new, something else. We're going to be meeting on Sunday at 3 o'clock, Something New podcast with my dear sister Holly. And we're going to continue this discussion, I would think, more than likely, because you can feel we've come through all of these things, but this is the balancing point on a planet that's male and female. If the balance is not met here and we don't come together, we can say come together, except it's more like come together and do everything we are saying. Think who might be, I'm talking in this voice, and the other ones are saying, okay, I'll try my best. Think who I might be saying is that voice. Let us come together. That means it's a round table. It's a circle of light and love. I putting in, you putting in, we all putting it together. And guess what? That makes a phenomenal place from which the children can be blessed. Let us all say yay verily, because we will continue until the children are all free and happy and excited about being alive on this planet. Okay? You got it? Say yes, Miss Roxy. Thank you for joining me down at the corner for these last few days. I will be back on Sunday with Holly at 3, and then we're moving on. There's so many exciting, phenomenal, wonderful things. Go to Forever Free TV, catch up, try to keep up. This is a very, very tumultuous moment in history. You were born into it. You were born in the theater, as Warren used to tell me. We're in the theater. We were born in the theater. Why? I don't know. You were born here. So let's do something phenomenal. Okay? You got it? We're going to end up with a song called Freedom is Life. This is on Forever Free TV. So I have to go here to share the screen. Give me a second. I have to share the screen with freedom is life, and I have to do the entire screen, and I have to turn the sound on, and I have to choose freedom is life. And now I can share it. Okay? So freedom is life. This is what we are working, all of this is towards, is to be free in all the aspects. All the self-reflection is about freedom. Okay? I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. That doesn't seem to have worked. There's all these bits and pieces. Wait a second. New scene? Okay, let's see. This will work. No. Give me 1 second. Let's try something else. We're going to the screen, and it's freedom is life. And we want to go to the entire screen, and we want the sound on. Okay, and we're going to share it. There you go. You see that? You see how that worked out? Fantastic. Okay, freedom is life. Bye-bye.
Up in the morning, sun rising high. Feel the groove, let your troubles fly. Break those chains, let your spirit mend. Freedom is life, my friend. Walking downtown, feeling alright. Bass thumping heavy, light shining bright. Gotta dance, let your heart transcend. Freedom is life, my friend. Freedom is life, ain't no pretend. Feel it in your soul, make it blend. Raise your voice, let the rhythm extend. 'Cause freedom is life, my friend. Break it down now. Feel the sound. Let loose now. Get unbound, yeah. Groove with the beat, let love ascend. Freedom is life, my friend. Smiling faces, arms open wide. Love and joy, no need to hide. Hear the call, let it send. Freedom is life, my friend. Freedom is life, ain't no pretend. Feel it in your soul, make it blend. Ooh, yeah. Raise your voice, let the rhythm extend. 'Cause freedom is life, my friend. Break it down now. Feel the sound. Let loose now.